Hello everyone, my name is Marko Leferchek. I'm one of the district sales managers for Stenograph. And on the line tonight we also have Terry Wilson and Michelle McLaughlin. Welcome the two of you. How are you two tonight?
Great, looking forward to it, Mark.
Back on air.
Great. So we have a lot of things prepared, a lot of great features prepared for you tonight, a lot to cover. Terry Wilson, she covers Northern California. Michelle McLaughlin covers Southern California. I cover the northwest part of the United States and Alaska as well as Western Canada. Terry and Michelle both had said that I cover about half the world, jokingly, but it's a large area. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Terry, so we can get started.
Hi everyone, good evening and welcome. Our goal here tonight, is to introduce you to some great new features in Case Catalyst 16, as well as features from prior versions that you may not be aware of. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of features in Case Catalyst that will make your job easier, but we had to pick just a few, and for the most part, all you have to do is turn them on and use them. So let me get started with a brand new feature in Case Catalyst 16 called Case Prep. What can Case Prep do for you? Well, how would you like to walk into a proceeding knowing that most of the terms that are going to be used are already in your dictionary? Think about how much more confident you would be if providing real-time or rough ASCII at the end of the day, and how much easier your transcript is going to be to edit. That is what Case Prep will do for you. So let me show you how easy this feature is. Forgive me if I mess around here. We've got to get to Case Catalyst. So here we are. Hopefully you're all seeing my screen. I have a case here called Smith. I'm going to go in here. Now I've got 3 transcripts in here, and I got these transcripts from a myriad of different sources. Maybe you are working with a fellow reporter on Case Catalyst and they have done some prior depositions in this case. You can ask them for Case Catalyst files. Maybe you're working with someone that isn't on Case Catalyst or your agency. You can ask them for ASCII discs of transcripts in this proceeding. Maybe you are preparing for a trial. You can ask the attorneys for ASCIIs from their deposition and bring them into Case Catalyst. You can also go on the internet and search for any terminology you may need, such as asbestos or anything, and cut and paste files right into Case Catalyst from a PDF format and be able to use them with Case Prep. So what I'm going to do is I've got my button up here called Case Prep, so I'm going to click on that. And this is a wizard that's going to step me right through using this feature. The first thing it wants is it wants to know what files I want to compare against my dictionary. So I'm simply going to click Add, navigate to wherever my files are located. In my case, they're right here in my Smith briefcase. I'm going to select them all and click on Open. It's simply verifying the files that I selected, and if I needed to add more in a different location, I sure could. So I'm going to click Next. Now it wants to know the dictionaries I want to use to, for the system to compare against those transcripts. It will automatically select my personal dictionary and the update area if you use an update area. If I have additional dictionaries, such as some job or case dictionaries I'd like to use, I can select those as well. So again, it's verifying what I selected. Next. Now it wants me to set up some options. The first one is my list. Do I want words found, not found in my dictionary, phrases used you might want to brief? Well, I want both of them, so I'm going to select both. What kind of list do I want to create? I can create a dictionary build list. Many of you may not know that we actually have a dictionary build program in Case Catalyst and have for many, many, many years that you can create job dictionaries from, and I'm going to show you how that works. Create a heads-up list. You're going to see what that's all about in a minute. and include steno defines in the heads up list. You'll see what that's all about as well. Report words or phrases that occur at least, I put 3 in here, you can put any number in here you want. Sort list by frequency, words and phrases, or phrases and words. I like frequency, so I'm going to leave it there and click on next. Now it's just verifying the transcripts I'm going to use, the dictionaries I'm going to use, and what my options are. And now I'm going to click finish and let Case Prep do its magic. Because what it's going to do is bring me up or give me the capability of building a case dictionary instantly by using the dictionary build program. And I can do this now or I can do it later. Another cool thing about this list is it shows me the occurrence, how many times this occurred in the transcripts I just ran it through. It will also give me the ability to remove things. So I'm assuming that this Mr. Russ and Sheraton are probably speaker IDs because they're caps. I don't need Mr., so I'm going to remove that. And maybe I'd like to put Russ or Sheraton in my case dictionary, but I don't want them all capped. So I'm just going to hit the cap button here and uncap them or just initial cap them. And I can continue to go through this list if I so chose to. But I'm going to go ahead and start the dictionary build program so you can see what this is all about by simply clicking OK. It's verifying what writer I'm using. I'm going to hit OK. And my first word comes up, and it's Russ. So I'm going to stroke in Russ on my Diamante. There it is. And right here it tells me exactly how to move around this program. If I'm going to use asterisk FPLT to go to the next word, if I can hit that right, I sure did. And you can see here in the background, it's already building my case dictionary. All these words are going to show right up here in this case dictionary, and I can just continue building until I'm tired and come back and do it again later if I need to. I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to go into what is called the heads up list, which Case Prep created for me as well. This is a great list that gives you a lot of information, very similar to the dictionary build program, only it gives me some additional stuff. These are words like Amanda and Harrison were used 50 times in this transcript. They're showing me that these words are already in my dictionary, but they're showing me the stroke I used in case I can't remember how I wrote Amanda. Also, if I want to create a brief for any of these, you'll notice I've got my brief it pane up over here, like this word right here. I don't want to write it that way. I can right-click on it, suggest a brief, and in a second I have a brief for transplantation. I can get another brief if I don't like that. I can send that to my job dictionary right now by simply right-clicking on it. Any of these words in here that are coming up, I can select them and instantly create a brief for them and put it in the job dictionary. So there's another one for you. That's what the heads up list is for. This heads up list resides with this case, so I can refer to it at any time I want and continue to build that dictionary. That is Case Prep in a nutshell. A few weeks ago, we did a webinar on what's new in Case Catalyst 16, and I think some of you were at that webinar. But after the webinar, we had a lot of feedback, and one of my customers sent me this email about Case Prep, so I thought I would read it to you. Thanks so much for Case Prep and how to use it. The fact that it's there, I sure could have used that a couple of weeks ago. I spent an entire day inputting and building a job dictionary for an expert witness. And they expedited the transcript, of course. And after my 9 pages of words, solid pages typing across, making up my own brief, very time-consuming, my transcript came out beautiful because I was prepared. But this tool was already there for me. I just didn't know about it. Yikes. So this was very helpful to me, and I'm going to master the use of this valuable tool in version 16, Go Stenograph. We had a lot of comments just like this. Case Prep is taking preparation for a proceeding to a whole new level. Now, I need to move on. We're short on time. I need to move on to my next feature, which is Brief It. Now, you saw a little bit about BriefIt when I was using case prep and one way to use it. But what BriefIt will do for you is shorten the number of strokes you write and help you to write faster and cleaner. So let's talk a little bit about BriefIt. I have a deposition here that was done, or proceedings that was done in real time. And during real time, the BriefIt cane was up. So this reporter saw this as it was going on. And BriefIt will do a number of different things, but just to make this short, one of the main things it will do for you is reminder briefs. For example, state your name is already in this reporter's dictionary as this brief, this stroke, but she didn't use it today. So the system will bring it up on the BriefIt pane saying, hello, I'm in here. Same with Chicago, Illinois. Those are reminder briefs. Any three-stroke word that you write more than twice, like neurotoxicity here, BriefIt will automatically give you a brief for. Anything you finger spell, like SSBTC, BriefIt will automatically give you a brief for. They did that with Kurkowski as well. That was something that was finger spelled. The reporter had time. They actually hit a stroke that said, I don't like that brief, give me another one, until she found one that she liked. Now that is just the tip of the iceberg of what BriefIt will do for you. Sorry, I have a phone ringing, of course. My next feature is Finish 'em. Now what Finish 'em will do, many times when you're done with the transcript, you're actually not completely done. You may have to create an ASCII or a PDF file or a condensed transcript or print it or email it, or my big thing, back it up. Well, Finish 'em does all of that for you. So let's talk a little bit about Finish 'em. Let's get a transcript here, and we're going to use Dooley. I have a button right up here for Finish 'em, so I'm simply going to click on that. Now, Finish 'em is one of those features that you set up one time. You select the things you want and where you want them to go. I'm going to go ahead and click OK because I selected a lot of things, so I want Finish 'em to get done quickly, and it will be here in a second. It's all done, and I'll show you what I told it to create for me. It created a PDF file of the entire transcript. It created a condensed transcript in a PDF format that I could email off to anybody. It created a worksheet. Maybe you have to turn in worksheets. It pulled all the information from the fields in my transcript and put it on my worksheet however I want my worksheet to look. And the big thing for me, because I'm always trying to get you guys to back up, I had it back up to this file folder on my desktop. Here's the entire file with audio, everything that's concerning that transcript, along with another ASCII and another PDF. So if I ever need that down the road, 2 years from now, I've got it in my backup. No matter where you're backing things up to, whether it be an external drive, a flash drive, the cloud, however you're storing your files, you can tell Finish 'em when you create your ASCII to automatically back this transcript up wherever you want it. That's Finish 'em in a nutshell as well. Now, that is my presentation. So I'm now going to turn this over to Michelle. Oh God. Am I still on, guys, or did you lose me? Oh no.
We hear you, Terry.
Michelle? Oh, good, because I can't find my I can't find my
At the top under screen sharing?
I want to change.
Yeah, I can't.
I have you, Michelle.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, no problem.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for attending. I'm going to go over a few features for you as well, and as Terry mentioned, some of them are from previous versions, but I know from being a reporter that, you know, I learn things here all the time about the software Case Catalyst that I was using, and many of them I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was in there. So we kind of wanted to touch on things that are, you know, brand new and things that are not. So I wanted to go over automatic number conversion with you. When using Catalyst as a reporter, I really found this to be one of the biggest time savers ever. Editing numbers to proper format can be so time consuming. So if you imagine if you're not using number conversion, being able to simply write what you hear and having Catalyst take care of the rest, it's wonderful. Just about any type of number, dates, times, social security numbers all come out beautifully, properly formatted, without having to write any additional steno commands or strokes. I just want to go into Catalyst and show you a few examples. So I have my machine hooked up in a real-time file, and I haven't been writing much recently, so hopefully you'll bear with me if I'm not a perfect writer tonight. Okay, I'm just going to kind of do a little mock deposition portion here. So what's your address? Answer 4331 White Pine. So they said White Pine, it's just 2 words and a number. You'll see once I write the word street, avenue, boulevard, anything of the sort, what it's going to do is cap what's in between for me. Again, one less thing I have to edit out when I get home. What's your phone number? 951-775-1770. Okay. So again, properly formatted that without my having to write any additional strokes. What was the date of the incident? May 2nd, 1992. Properly formatted. What time were you there? 11:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. Are you sure? Oops, there was my mistake. Had I written p.m. instead of misstroke, we would have seen 11:30 p.m. But I'll keep going here. Maybe it was 3 o'clock a.m. So even if you put the word o'clock in between your a.m. or p.m., it's still going to format it properly for you. And you have different options within the number conversion box to choose the format that you particularly like your numbers to look. How much did you spend? $6,430. Exactly? No, it was $6,432.20. So that's automatic number conversion for you. You can imagine if you're not using this, taking an economist or an accountant, a job like that, immediately, any time that you've spent getting this set up and going for yourself will be paid back in an instant. So the next feature I wanted to talk to you about is called Cat Scratch. Cat Scratch is one of my favorite features because, as Terry mentioned, there's really nothing to learn. You're simply going to turn it on and use it. When on a job or perhaps even when editing at home, most reporters have a notepad of some type for that job to keep track of spelling, special requests, etc. for that particular job. What Cat Scratch does for you is rather than having that separate notepad to keep track of and have to search through to find the information pertinent to the job that you're working on, Cat Scratch is a scratch pad within Catalyst that stays with your job. You can make notes as you go along, and when you get home to edit, your notes will be there attached to your job. It'll even stay with your job when you send notes or when you send your job to a scopist or a proofreader. So I'm going to go into Catalyst and give you a glimpse of Cat Scratch. I'm going to brief the pane down here, and I'm just going to pull up the pane for Cat Scratch. Any of those panes, Brief It, Cat Scratch, I'm going to show you Hotspots, can all be found up here under View, Panes, and then as you see, the ones I have selected, just like my vertical notes, if I wanted those up, Hotspots, Brief It, and Cat Scratch I have. And I tuck them over here to the side. So if I have my little Cat Scratch here, if I want to put an entry into that, just like if I'm in a Word document and I want to put a new pull up a new document, I'm just going to hit the little blank piece of paper. It's going to pull up an entry, and I could make a note like maybe Jones wants an E-tran. So it could be a reminder like that. I could have a spelling that I've gotten, and maybe I wasn't right in the part of the transcript where I could fix it. I caught the doctor running out the door. Maybe I write thrombophlebitis. So different ideas there. You can also send a note to your scopist. Anything within here, you just hit that little pad and or the little paper, type in your note, and again, it'll stay with your job. It's always there with the job you're working on. And you can also use that as you're going through the transcript. If I get to the spot where thrombophlebitis needs to be put in, rather than having to retype it, I can highlight it. I see my cursor's here, and I needed that word in. I would just highlight, click insert, and it's going to pop that word right in for me. So in a nutshell, that is Cat Scratch. The next feature I wanted to talk to you guys about is Hotspots. It really is another one of my favorites. Each of us, when we're out on a deposition or in court, have a way of marking a spot that we need to come back to, or even afterward, to check a spot for a spelling, to clarify a number, check a quote on a document, whatever it may be. Some of us have a stroke that we write, like check, check, or maybe check with an asterisk. Others use the mark button on their writer. Either method puts a steno stroke or translated English into our file that we can then search for to find the spot that we want to check. The downside of these methods is that it does put a mark in your transcript that the judge or attorney can see in real time or in a rough. And it's also in just one more thing that you have to take the time to edit out later. Hotspots is an ingenious way to mark places in the transcript that you want to check on without having additional steno or text in the transcript. So how does it work? Let me show you some of what Hotspots can do for you. So I am going to put Cat Scratch to the side and bring Hotspots up here. Oh, wrong file. I'm going to go into a file that has some things in it that we can find. Now I'll tuck this to the side and bring Hotspots up. Okay, so every time I have written that stroke or pressed that mark button, rather than it putting that mark in the transcript, what it's going to do is tuck the entire line of text right here in this Hotspots pane for me. So Hotspots, the way you do that is you take the stroke or the mark button, you're going to mark it in a transcript and put it in your dictionary by, with your dictionary entry, and you're going to define it as your OOPS format symbol. And that's why you see it says OOPS here. It tucks every single time you write that stroke, it's going to tuck it right into this pane for you. If you see what you want right away, like maybe I knew I wanted to verify this number. So I can check that. Once it's done, I can highlight it, click delete, and delete it. So I'll have a current running list of what the things that I need to check on. I don't have to sift through and try to remember which things I've gotten and which I haven't. Another nice thing is that, a lot of the times when we're writing so quickly, trying to keep up, we don't have time to put that mark button in right away. So I may look at something like this and say sip and dip. I don't need anything for that. Well, if I just double click it, it's going to take me right to that spot, at which point I could scroll up and see, oh, I remember I wanted to verify that I finger spelled Wilston right, whatever the case may be. So that's the way it keeps track of the spots that you need to mark. Another thing that Hotspots will do for you is you have the option of having it bring your untranslates into the Hotspots pane for you. And you can limit the number. Most people do about 5 at a time. So once it gets 5 untranslates in, it's going to wait until you resolve them, and then it'll bring in the next. So if I have a few minutes on a break or in between, sessions, and I need to edit these out, or maybe I've just found out that an attorney wants a rough, I can quickly go in here and edit my untranslates right from the Hotspots pane, rather than having to go through the top, start from the top and scan through. So if I just go ahead and double click this, it's going to take me right to this untranslate, and I can choose to resolve this now. And you can see once it was resolved, it took it out of my untranslate, or my Hotspots pane. Had I had more untranslates in this file, it would have just simply popped the next one in at that point. So really quick and easy way to edit on the fly. The last thing I just kind of wanted to mention is a feature that is new in version 16. And it's just kind of something that we've put in there to help save from any potential disasters. And that's that your overwritten files will go to your recycle bin. If you've ever overwritten a file when restoring another file, maybe you go between laptop and desktop when editing, or maybe you haven't updated your dictionary on one computer and want to restore the updated version from one computer to the other. When you do that, you get the little box that pops up and says, is it okay to overwrite the old file? In the past, if you clicked yes and realized afterward that you shouldn't have done that, the old file is done and gone. Had you been working on updating your dictionary for 6 months and then overwrote that, you could be pretty frustrated. In version 16 now, that file that you overwrote will go right into your recycle bin so that you can very quickly and easily access it and restore that information to your computer. Disaster avoided. We really hope you've seen some features that can benefit you and save you some time, giving you the opportunity to get out there and make more money. I'm going to just turn this over to Mark now so that he can explain where you can get some help in making these features work for you. Mark?
Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate it. What I'm going to be covering are just a few resources that are available free of charge that can be found in the newer versions of Case Catalyst and on our website. The Case Catalyst Help is designed like your window help menu. All you have to do is type in the keywords on what you need help with, and everything related will appear. The integrated video trainings, or the IVT for short, are short videos designed to teach you essential skills and signature features within Case Catalyst and show you step-by-step and how to use them. The self-study guides are written step-by-step detailed instructions on how to use various features in Case Catalyst. This is for those of you that like to have the piece of paper in front of you. All three of these features, Case Catalyst Help, Integrated Video Trainings, and the Self-Study Guide, can be found under the Help on your Case Catalyst toolbar. All you have to do is click at the very top. The next thing I want to cover is the Case Catalyst release notes. They can be found by clicking and following these steps on your screen, clicking My Computer, This Computer, then clicking on your C drive, then choosing the Cat4 folder, and then finding the PDF file named Case Catalyst Release Notes. These are detailed step-by-step instructions on the newest features or changes made in Case Catalyst and is updated whenever there is a new version release. And if you didn't know this, for those of you that are on 16, just the other day we released version 16.02. So after this training today, make sure you go into Case Catalyst under Help and check for updates so you can get that newest version. The next thing that I want to talk about is not in Case Catalyst, but it's on our website. It's the Stenograph Solution Center. It's our newest edition, and it can be, you can either find it on our stenograph.com under Support, or go to www.stenographsolutions.com. You can not only find your answers to your Case Catalyst questions, but you can also find questions about the writer that you have as well. Another resource available is your local certified Case Catalyst training agent. So Michelle, if you can go to the next page. Here is their contact information, right there. And you can also find their contact information on our website under the Support tab. There are a few training agents that have their own website with helpful links, so make sure you take a look at their page. All right, we're going to go to the next page. For those of you not eligible for Case Catalyst version 16, we're running a promotion where you can save up to a few $100s. You can either pay for it in full or we have affordable quarterly payments plans available. When you upgrade, you will receive all the new features and 1 full year of support. This special will run through May 29th of next month. We recorded tonight's webinar, and we will be posting on our YouTube channel and sending it to everyone that attended. Make sure, if you could, share the link with your colleagues. We would really appreciate it, because the more everyone knows about their software, the easier their jobs become. You can also let them know about the money they can save with the upgrade promotion that we have running through the end of May. Cindy Lynch also wanted to make sure that everyone is aware of the Case Catalyst seminar she is conducting in San Francisco on May 15th and 16th. And you can find more information about that on our website under Supports. We want to thank you for your time, and our contact information is here. The following are our phone numbers and email addresses. And if you're an individual that is outside of the territory we cover, you can always contact Stenograph at our toll-free phone number to get a hold of your correct sales rep to help you out with the promotion that we are running. I want to thank everybody tonight, and Michelle and Terry, thank you for your time. And everyone, I hope you have a great night.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.